All right, here we go. So this is my first ever YouTube video, and I thought me introducing myself is in order would be good. With that being said, my name is Zach, and this is gonna be my YouTube channel. This channel does have a few goals in mind, but the main goal is to actually just build a community or communities talking about faith. I want to be able to plant seeds and or just bring faith back to the day-to-day lives of everyone around me. I feel like God has called me to do this. He's told me about this for a long time, but up until recently, I finally had the encouragement and motivation to actually pursue this path and pursue what God has for me. And when God calls upon us for specific things, it's very important. And how can we say no to that? With that being said, I want to be able to have deep conversations with you guys, talk and answer any questions you guys may have, share opinions, share ideas. Doesn't matter if it's difficult conversation, a disagreement. It honestly doesn't matter about anything. It could be uncomfortable. Just being able to talk about faith with you guys is utmost important, regardless of what the conversation is. Now, I do want to share with you guys a little bit about myself, regarding my testimony, things that I've gone through, a few of my trials that way. So I feel like if you guys get to know me on a little bit more of a personal level, the delivery of the message that I'll be giving you guys and or the questions that you guys may be asking me and I may be answering with will mean more. Because at the end of the day, everything that I tell you guys is coming from the heart. Everything that I'm telling you guys is also coming from the Word of God, experiences and all. And I feel like that will mean a lot more going forward, for you guys as well, for me as well. Starting out, I did grow up in a Christian household. Growing up as a kid, I had a huge passion for God. I would always look forward to going to Sunday school, always look forward to going to church, going to small groups. I'm always excited to read and study the Bible, memorize Bible verses, and however, as I grew older and I started going through my trials, I began to separate myself from God up until high school. And then when I hit high school, I hit a very dark place, darker than the previous years, to where I completely denounced God. And that was one of the darkest times of my life at a young age. I blamed God for everything I was going through. I blamed my parents. I blamed the few friends I had. I blamed my sisters. I put every ounce of blame on everyone, including God, instead of looking towards myself. And so I cast him out. I grew suicidal during that time. I did have several attempts on my life. God bless, I'm still here today. And I'm very thankful that I was able to overcome all of that. Because if not, then I wouldn't be here talking with you guys today. Spreading the word of God, showing you guys my vision, or God's vision, I should say. But yeah, and what brought me back was actually people. God brought people in my life that slowly started to, allow the seeds that were already planted from when I was a kid to sprout again. They slowly started to water me, and I slowly started to sprout. I was finally able to find God again after my last attempt, which was when I was 18. I'm 25 now, soon to be 26 this year in June. So, I'm 7 years healthy, and, God bless that. And I'm very proud of myself for overcoming and honestly just very thankful for those around me that pushed me and, are a very big reason for why I'm the man I am today. But that was a very dark time in my life, and I would love to go into detail and talk about that with you guys at some point. But as of right now, for an introduction, I don't think that would be very appropriate, if you know what I mean. Of course, if you guys have questions about it, or maybe you're going through your own thing as well, definitely shoot me a DM on my Instagram. The Instagram is in my bio. It's also going to be a link in the description below. But if any of you guys are struggling with anything, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter the scale of it either. I want you guys to all feel comfortable enough to come or even talk among yourselves, to get advice, hear wisdom across the board, and just receive grace. Grace at the end of the day is a beautiful thing. It is the greatest gift God can give us. It truly is. And I just want to be able to spread that across. I just want to be able to help everybody. And if I can help prevent, specific paths as well, then I want to be able to do that. And a lot of times, some of us just, you know, face it alone, and or we push everybody that we know and love away just because we don't want to be a burden to them. But at the end of the day, God gives us people in our lives for reasons. We come into contact with people for reasons. Everything, honestly, going through our lives happens for a reason. And I just really want to be able to give you guys a reason to help others. I just want to be able to spread grace again. And it's a beautiful thing when you are giving it to someone and when you're receiving it. God does it every day. And so that is something that we should all strive to do as well. Outside of that, I'm also a gamer. I grew up off of games ever since I was a kid. My dad was the one that introduced me to games, and it's just been a very big passion of mine ever since I was little. My first ever game that I actually got into was on the DS, and it was Gen 4 Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, specifically Pearl. But my favorite game of all time is actually my first Xbox game off on the 360, and that was Halo 3 ODST. It is the only game outside of, like basic Call of Duty games and stuff like that, to where I have every single achievement done. It has some of the most hours I've ever played in a game, period. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when they remastered it with the Halo Chief Edition, I kind of cried a little bit. I also cried when they remastered Diamond and Pearl with, BDSP, but we won't get into that. But yeah, no, gaming's has always been big in my life, and I actually do plan to make gaming content at some point. But as of right now, with the passion and fire that I have for God and the mission that He has for me, I'm going to be focusing more on that and giving you guys that kind of content first and foremost before we ever get into the gaming content. So however long that takes is to be determined. Alongside that, I also play not professional tennis but competitive tennis, if that makes sense. I'm nowhere near good enough to be professional. I play for Alta and USTA leagues. For those that may know, my ratings for USTA is a 4.0 player, and my ratings for Alta, specifically doubles for men's, is A6. For mixed, which is men's and women's doubles, it's A3. And then for those that may not know the ratings but may be curious, I'm also going to put a link in the description as well, just so you guys can see the list of ratings, just so you can see, where I'm at, and or if you are interested in tennis, where you can begin to learn as well. With that being said, I don't want to take too much of y'all's time today. I just want to go ahead and thank every single person who watched this video, regardless of where you are. If you guys want to be on this journey with me, then please absolutely subscribe. If you guys want to help me out, or if you guys have any questions, leave a like, leave a comment, and then I will respond to every comment on this video. I just want to get to know you guys. But with that being said, again, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video today. And just in case if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.